So on test day, you guys are, how many people are taking the test on Saturday? Oh, okay, pretty much everyone. It's too late now, but are you signed up for October? Okay. If you're not signed up for October, it wouldn't hurt to sign up for November. At least make that decision before the deadline. Now here's why. The tests are so close together, right, that if you wait to decide what to do until your score comes out, you may end up needing to go to a faraway place. If you don't need to take the test and you're still signed up for November, who cares? It's like you lost $200, that sucks, but it's much better to lose that money because you now have a score you're happy with than to be stuck like, oh, I can't take it, or I have to go far away, or whatever, right? So, in any case, when you get there, let's see, I'm trying to think. Yours is on a Saturday. So you're going to have to get there at 8:30, unless your ticket says otherwise. And in general, you'll just be free to walk around until you get assigned to a seat in your test room, right? And so, although you can bring food for the break, I would suggest bringing a little extra and eating before you go into your actual test room. You're technically not supposed to have food outside of the break, but if you haven't been put into a room and assigned a seat, you have a lot of flexibility. They have no idea like if you're here for the test or here for something else. You have to play it by ear, but it doesn't hurt to like figure out what room you have to go to and then hang back and like go to the restroom, eat some of your snacks, and then be one of the last people to go into your room. Because if you're one of the first people, you're going to go in, they're going to say, you have to sit in this seat, and then you're just sitting there for like 30, 45 minutes waiting for everybody else to get seated, right? Now, every test center is a little different, so you got to take that advice with, some like environmental awareness of what's going on. But in general, like rushing into the room doesn't help you. So you go to the restroom, then you go in, you get all set up with your device these days. One thing you can do is turn your monitor on, like go to the accessibility settings and turn it on to black background. Try it out. The reason for it is that it's less draining on your eyes to have lighter text with a black background rather than the reverse. So some people find it easier to get to your reading count that way. You can bring pencils. Many of you probably saw that email today. I think LSAC sent it out. But I would suggest it because I think pencils is a little bit better for logic games. Just because you can erase a small thing as opposed to like crossing it out with your pen. They will give you scratch paper. So as long as you have a couple pencils, you're good to go. There's no reason to cancel on test day. You have 6 days to cancel, and it almost always never makes sense to cancel. Like, even if you feel like you did poorly, oftentimes we don't know and we're just dramatizing a bad situation. And even if it is bad, well, they're going to take your highest score on record, so like you can learn from the experience if you get that score, whereas if you don't get it, you just never know. It's like self-fulfilling, right? But you can always email me if you're not sure. You have 6 days. And yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any questions about test day? Yes.
It says on the email we got today that we cannot bring our phone. Does that mean
correct.
We can't bring it to the facility, period, full stop?
You can't take it into the facility. Yeah. So, Eddie, to be clear, a lot of people do that.
Yeah. Right.
But they make some pretty common mistakes. Like, at the break, they'll bring out their phone and they'll start texting people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I forgot that I can't be addicted to my phone. Like, if you shut it off...
If we need it for the sake of a ride, will they like...
They don't give you any exceptions.
They don't
care about how you got there or how you get home.
They're not going to look in your stuff, though? Like, if it is in my bag and I just leave it in there...
Well, you can't bring it back. You got
So
no bag at all.
I've taken it twice now, and this last time was at the Marriott. So it was at the Marriott Marquis, and you were allowed to bring a bag and then check it in with the hotel.
Oh.
So
That's surprising. I wonder if that's something unique about the hotel, because a lot of times.
I think so, because like even like going in for the test, there weren't assigned seats. Like they just checked you in and they were just like, yeah, take a seat.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like
every location is so different.
Yeah, so it depends on the proctor. Some proctors are like, we are going to follow every rule. You're not going to look at me. You're going to stay focused. And some places they're like talking on their cell phone. If they do, by the way.
The proctor sucked. He messed up like 3 times.
Yeah, with timing or?
With timing, yeah. And with instructions. The first section, he told us that we had 1 minute remaining.
And you had 1 minute or 5?
With 1 minute, he told us.
Oh yeah.
Like he didn't give us the 5-minute warning.
Well, thankfully, hopefully that's all like taken care of now with the digital tests, right? But you can get a lot of crazy stuff like that. Yeah.
I have a question about the timing. Do you know if it cuts down similar to how it does in the Demon?
It does it the same.
And if you can hide it.
You can't hide it after 5 minutes. And the same thing happens. The red bar comes around it, which is just like, I don't know who thought of that. They're like, let's increase anxiety, right? They're like, we want to let them know.
But you can still hide it in the first half hour.
You can still hide it in the first half hour. So that functionality is the same. Eddie, to get back to your question, a lot of people bring cell phones. They just keep them turned off and in their pockets. I have been to test centers before where they are proactively like saying, hey, what's in your pocket? So you have to be careful there too. If you have a loose jacket pocket, I'm not advocating the bringing of cell phones. I would encourage you to leave it at home. But if you chose to bring it, just don't make the mistake that these other people have made, where they bring it out, or they left it in their bag. And unlike this hotel where you're able to check your bag in, they left their bag in the hallway. And then what happened was someone was going around saying, hey, what are these bags here? Hey, we found a bag. Oh, we found a phone in it. That became a test center violation. So there's a lot of risk involved. If you can get a ride, or if you can call a ride and get there and just say, well, I don't care how I get home. I just got to get there.
The test, I might as well walk.
Yeah, when you're done with the test, you can who cares? You're just like, you eat anywhere. You walk home, you just stop and eat. You're like, it's over. But in any case, yeah, something to keep in mind. In terms of timing, yeah, we got that. Anything else? Yeah.
So, does it go right from one section to the next?
No, it does not. So like the Demon, there's this pause, and the proctor is controlling from section to section. And in fact, if someone ends up leaving the test environment because of some glitch, they'll give you a new Microsoft Go, but your time will stop right where the glitch occurs. Well, in theory. It doesn't always work that way. But let's say you have 20 minutes left. It will theoretically stop with 20 minutes left. They'll give you a new device. You'll have to change it with them, right? And then it will resume, and you'll have 20 minutes. But everybody else has been going on. So you have to wait for those folks to finish, and you're just sitting there. So depending on how long they quickly, exchange a go or whatever like that, you could be waiting there for a while. One thing to keep in mind, if anything happens in the test center, please somehow be aware of your anxiety and overcome it. Because so many people, I'm just trying to give you this advice, so many people regret. Let's say that the proctor's talking on the phone, not unheard of, right? The proctor's talking on the phone, and they're like, I listened to that for the whole first section. You're going to be kicking yourself for a long time. And then finally someone at the end of the first section was like, hey, can you stop? And it stopped. What if you had said that at the beginning? But why aren't you saying that? It's because you're like, oh, can I say anything? How's that going to be perceived? Everybody in the room was like, thank you for saying something. But you don't want to say it because you're worried about how it's going to be perceived. Same with like if someone's sitting next to you and they're being annoyingly loud, say something. Like you don't want to. I know you don't want to, and that makes sense. But think about that. If you have a problem with your device, say something right away. They're like, hey, it's not working. Because otherwise your time is ticking, and you can't depend on these proctors. These proctors have limited experience with the digital test. They have limited experience, period. And so you almost have to take control. You're like, hey, I have a problem with the device. I need a new device or whatever, so that you can get the ball rolling and get the test experience that you want. Otherwise, you're going to be kicking yourself and taking it again. And I get these emails all the time. People are like, oh, can I complain to LSAC about this? I'm like, yeah, but their solution is just going to be like, do you want to cancel and retake it? Like, there's not really a solution except, well, what do you want to do? So be proactive about anything and everything you have concerns about. Anything else? Yes?
Yeah, Saturday, before the proctor clicks go, it shows you what sections come up. Does it do in the real test?
Okay, no. So on the real test, we're going to change the Demon so it's exactly like the real test. But what's going to happen on the real test is you're going to get to a waiting page. It's going to show you all 5 sections, right? Because you're not doing the writing sample at the test anymore.
Yeah.
So you'll have the 5 sections, but they won't tell you what type of section it is. It just says 1, 2, 3, break, 4, 5, right? Now what happens is when they click go, you are going to be given the directions for the section, but the timer is going to be going. So you just, as soon as you see those directions, you hit start, and at that point it's probably been like 3 seconds, right? 4 seconds. Okay? The proctor will start everybody at the same time. So it's a weird system. They could have done it differently, but. All right, any other questions? That's it. All right. So now